Conversations with gospel artists, pastors. Our faith is what got us through all the troubles and disasters. Indeed, we fell short, but the Lord never passed us. Our belief in God is the most important factor. It's the Veleka B Project. You're now tuned in to the Veleka B Project with your host, Veleka B, lover of God, founder and CEO of Set Apart and Chosen. Sit back and relax and enjoy the conversations.
My sisters is on. So, Pastor, man, I know you're a busy guy. So, first, thank you so much for taking time out to come hang with us tonight, man.
Thank you so much, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, I think we all are kind of patting ourselves after you now, and the do-rag, the swag, and the clothes. You have just taken gospel to a whole nother level, man.
No, I'm excited, man. I think I'm just excited to be a part of a rich heritage. I say this all the time. I just got off an interview not too long ago. They was like, man, how does it feel? And I don't think people realize how much I respect the genre. When I see Shayna Wilson-Williams and all she's done to build this genre and other people, I just want to be a good ambassador that when they look, they can be like, hey, that cat, he independent, he doing it the right way. He's unapologetically who he is. You know, and I think that's what it's all about. When you say set apart and chosen, set apart and chosen, I think so many people, before they can be set apart, things have to be torn apart. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times we've constructed ourselves in a way trying to fit into a genre or a group or a clique or a tribe that God never called you to be a part of. You know, so the best thing that's happened for me personally is that I'm so grateful this happened to me at an age where I just know who I am. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Like, had this happened about 8 years ago, I probably would have been trying to fit in with cliques or like, what do I need to do? I'm just me. Like it or leave it. I am who I am. What you see is what you get. And I just pray God keeps his hand on what we're doing.
Wow.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
Man, and speaking of independent, you have mastered this thing. You, like, dude, you have mastered it, Pastor. You have blazed. I mean, independent, as an independent artist. Last year, I think you won a Stellar Award.
New Artist of the Year last year,
New Artist of the Year. You came back this year and just swept through like, oh, yeah, thank y'all for New Artist last year. But this year, go ahead and just give me Artist of the Year. I mean, it's just, I'm like,
it's crazy. I think
feel,
it's crazy. First thing I want to do is say, Boss Lady, thank you so much for having me. Number two, and I need you guys to pray with me, because if I can have my mustache as perfect as his mustache is in the picture behind him and in the video, I can get to another level. Hey, because no, but bro, for real.
No lie. No lie.
Hey,
Pastor, really?
I had to get you. You behind you. Look, move your camera up. We need to see the picture now.
I just want to
let's see the picture now. Go and move your camera. Let's see the picture. Let's see the picture. Come on, let's go.
You're shaming me right now.
No, bro. But seriously, it's a blessing, man. I mean this, man. I'm gonna give you. Can I give you my story real quickly?
Yeah.
Well, when I started the church 10 years ago, I heard the Lord tell me very clear. If I've never heard God, I heard this: love God, love your family, love your city, and the world will come looking for you. I heard God say that, man. And I mean this, man. For the last 10 years, I just been loving God. And we get to the 10-year mark, and literally, Kerry Douglas comes to the house. He had just married one of the best ministry workers we had in our church. We go downstairs to watch the basketball game, and he says, "Why you got a studio in your house?" I was like, well, my counselor asked me, how did I rent? You know, as being a pastor, spiritual leader, so many people just dump bad news all over you. Wow. Dre, come cover that sound for me. So what happens is I played I Got It. He was like, whoa. I played Big. Then he was like, that's the #1 song in the world. If you trust me, your life will never be the same, Dre. And the rest is history. So for me, I mean this, I get a chance, and I want to speak this over so many musicians and artists' life. I really get a chance to do all of this music from the kindness of my heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a church who love me. We've been really wise, and we've done a lot in our city. We gave away $1.4 million worth of medical debt relief. So every person in the city of Birmingham who had past due medical bills, we paid the balance. We giving away houses. We giving away cars. Giving is what we do. You feel what I'm saying? So for me, I get the beautiful blessing of not having to do music for the pressure of the industry.
Right.
You know, so like with singles ministry, everybody was saying, well, what if they gonna view this as your sophomore album? I don't care. I'm not doing it for that. It's a remnant of people who rock with me. It's a remnant because singles are the most overlooked demographic in the whole church. Everybody's the moment a pretty girl walks in the church, the first thing they say is, we got to find you a husband. Or the moment a brother comes like, oh, I got an auntie just for you. It ain't like that. And shout out to Adam Blackstone, the legend, man, who just jumped on the live. For me, I get a chance to do it out of the love and the kindness of my heart. So I'm just excited. I speak that freedom over everybody. And I'm just excited. Whoever this is trying to light up on my jean jacket, Aunt Deezy 669, we bind you up. I can look at your profile picture and tell you got a lot of personal issues. So I'm going to stretch my hands to you in Jesus' name.
In the name of Jesus. And you just handled that so gracefully, man. Because the saints, they will try you. They tried me a couple times on this show, and I had to get off and get in my prayer closet like, God, help me to bridle my tongue.
That's right. Absolutely.
Go ahead and block him. Montrae, block him. We don't have time for that tonight.
I'm telling you. Seriously. Man, and I'll fight over Pastor Mike Jr. straight up.
Listen, I just want to say thank you for being unique. You stepping out and not worrying about what people say. Because that single ministry thing, some people like, they could have been like, but you were like, you know what? I'm doing this because I need to do this. It's not something that I want to do. It needs to be done. And I do appreciate you stepping outside of what we think Christian, gospel, whatever title we want to give it this week, music should be.
Here's what's crazy, boss lady. Here's what's crazy. The moment you leave church, you cut on your radio or you putting on the songs you love to hear. Mm-hmm. You know, so I never forget. One of my singles hit me and said, Pastor Mike, I'm quarantined alone. Do you know how my mind is racing being in this house by myself? So I wanted to write some songs that spoke to who they are. And if you're watching right now, let's do this. I need everybody to put what I'm about to say in the comments because I want to categorize you. I've discovered in all my years there are a couple types of singles. The first one, put this in the comments, is casually dating. Now, you're casually dating. What does that mean, Pastor Mike? That means I'm being very honest and upfront with whoever I meet. Like, let's be real. I don't have a man. Notice I didn't say I'm sleeping with everybody I meet. I'm just dating. I'm casually dating. If I want to go to the movies with this person, I will. If I want to go out to eat with this person, right now I am on my grind. I'm on my hustle. I'm focused on my assignment. I know my purpose, and I'm casually dating. If love finds me, it finds me. But right now, I'm just casually dating. All right. Number two, put this in the comments. I'm optimistically waiting.
Wow.
Okay. Optimistically waiting. I want to be straight up, Pastor Mike. I ain't single and I love it. I'm ready to get my man. I'm ready to get my woman. And I want to say this, man, optimistically waiting that I'm about my business. He called me Rambo. I'm about my business. I'm about my grind. I'm about my hustle. I'm about being what God called me to be. But in my heart, and nothing's wrong with this, boss lady, I'm waiting on who God has for me. And there's nothing wrong with that. Number three, I am frustratingly baiting. Did you catch that? Frustratingly baiting. I want to talk about this. The bait you use determines the fish you catch. Did you catch that? The bait you use determines the fish you catch. I want to talk about this from the opposite side because we always jump down females' throat. It's so patriarchal in church. I want to take the other road, okay? So, fellas, if all you're doing is flashing your cash, your Benz, and your crib, don't be mad when you catch a fish who only wants your stuff.
Wow.
Did you catch that? Because we're so quick to say, well, these women shouldn't be half naked online. But we also shouldn't be baiting them with cash, cars, and clothes. So a lot of times when I say frustratingly baiting, am I casually dating? Hey, I'm being open and honest. Here's what it is. Number two, am I optimistically waiting? I'm not dating. I'm just waiting on Mrs. or Mr. Right. Number three, am I frustratingly baiting? You call me? Frustratingly baiting. Number four, Am I sporadically mating?
Right.
You just out here dropping it like it's hot with everything moving. You 3 tenors, 2 musicians, and 5 regular members that already know you. The neighbors know
Deliver
your
us.
name. And Jesus, the neighbors know your name.
Right.
They know your name. So hear me when I say this, randomly or sporadically mating. And I say this so I can tell everybody right now, for me, doing this music was so important because, again, if the church is afraid to cross this bridge, we will not get the next generation. And I say that because, answer this question for me. If a fire breaks out, who runs to the fire? Firemen.
Right.
The church is guilty of running away from what we should have been running to. This is why Kanye can come and dominate in the genre. This is why people can step over into our genre and now everything becomes obsolete because they aren't afraid to express themselves artistically and intellectually and creatively in a way that gets the point across in a pragmatic way. And that's what we're trying to do. So if we take a couple shots, God bless you. But my inbox is filled with people right now saying, bruh, this is exactly what I needed.
Yes.
And I can't wait to keep giving people what they need. So I'm excited.
We appreciate it.
I'm sitting here fanning out, man. And this is crazy, man, because you're giving so many good nuggets that we don't really necessarily talk about in the church. So you have a I Got It singles ministry album.
Yep.
Wow. Like, that is so dope. So to a person that don't have it, that doesn't have it, what can we expect when we get that record?
Hey, man, the album is bananas, man. It has an R&B feel, but it has a Christian undertone. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. It really speaks to the difficulties of dating and life. The blessing with being a pastor, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I actually love my people. Before the pandemic, I would literally preach one service, stand outside, park cars, preach another service, go to the door, hug people, preach another service. That's what we did. You know, I believe people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So what I did was I listened and began to write people's stories. One of my members hit me. Hey, Tiffany Perry. One of my members hit me and literally said, what's up, Ken? One of my members said, Pastor Mike was single and I love it about me. I said, yep, because they had begun to tell me this story. So if you go look at some of the music videos, and shout out to Will Thomas out of Atlanta, director Will, if you look at some of these music videos, I just brought to life some of the stories people were sharing me on the altar. You know, at Pastor Mike, I'm dating this person, and they kept telling me I was a problem. Then I glowed up. And I never forget the day they saw me walking downtown Atlanta. They almost broke their neck getting across the street. But I was like, no. So I just brought that to life. Or Burning Bridges, which is my favorite song, man. It just speaks about, I got a devil on one shoulder, angel on the other. I'm caught in the middle. It's me they're fighting over. That speaks to anxiety and depression and different things. So I'm excited about it. The lead single off of it is already number 14 on the R&B charts. It's entitled I Got It, which is crazy. It went number 1 in gospel. Now it's all the way in top 20 on the R&B charts. So we're going to keep our foot on the gas. We're going to keep challenging the status quo and keep taking chances and risks to reach as many people as possible.
Amen. That's good.
I mean, you are killing the game, Pastor. I know you hear that a lot, but for real, like, you're killing the game right now. So how did you ever imagine that you will be on R&B and gospel? Like, did you ever see that coming?
Yes. So this is the part where I'm supposed to be ultra humble and say, man, wow, man, I never in a million. No, I knew it. I want to be very clear about that because Boss Lady feel me. It's certain stuff you do, God shock you. Like, all day today, I've been sitting in this seat doing interviews. I'm an ambassador for the World Games. So really grasp that. So next summer, when the World Games come to Birmingham, Alabama, they asked me to be an ambassador. And I'm partnering with Boosie Collins and some other people doing the opening and closing ceremony. Like, I didn't imagine that. That's God. What I'm doing now, I saw this. But like many of the people watching today, they're pregnant with vision, but it keeps being aborted by lack. Or they have the gift, they just don't have the connections or the resources. So for me, connecting with a Carrie Douglas and a Black Smoke and what we do at Rock City Media Group, it was so important because I knew we had the music. I knew we had, so I sat down and said, I know I got the songs, but I didn't necessarily have the look.
Right.
You know, I was close to 300 pounds at the time. And I was like, the type of music and the energy I want to bring, my body couldn't do it. So we went on a mission to drop 70 pounds. So then we dropped the weight. So it's okay. Do we have the connections? So then we connected with Black Smoke. So it's okay. So do we have a base? And what people don't realize about me, because I'm new to everybody, I'm not new to the people who love me. So you got to think about it. In my church, there are thousands of people at my church. We have over 70,000 people on our app subscription. We have over 2 million reach social media. So we had this base that was being formed. You got what I'm saying? A lot of people want to be presented before they're processed. Somebody put that in the comment, please.
Man.
A lot of people want to be presented before they're processed. So you write a song tomorrow, you want the world to hear it the next day. How is it being packaged? That's so important. How is it being packaged? If it's not being packaged right, the world will never hear it. So for me, it was like, okay, I told Carrie, I was like, I want my first single to be I Got It. He was like, trust me, we got to go big. God is on big. I said, well, Carrie, I'm scared if I go big, I'm going to be put in this box. That's why I Got It came second. That's why I forgoed my gospel album to drop the most radical thing I could drop to make it very clear. Y'all not finna box me.
Good, good.
So we can go from big to I Got It to CeeLo Green, amazing, to singles ministry, then come right back with a hymn. Because I believe in gospel because of the limitless platforms that we have, and because of this religious mindset that anything polished is evil. That's what happens in the church. If it's polished, if it's presented in excellence, it's evil, or it's just bought for, or it's paid for, it ain't God. Because of that, I think people are failing to be all of who they are. I want to speak by faith, and I need somebody to give me 100 hearts when I say this. For many of you, it's not either or, it's both and. You have an ambidextrous anointing. You can be saved and paid, blessed and a boss, righteous and rich. You can. I need hearts for that one right there.
Love it.
God says, no, you can do it all. You can have a blog, a TV show, and be an intercessor. For so many years, they tried to make you pick. If you preached, you couldn't sing. If you sung, you couldn't pastor. If you played, you couldn't perform. If you wrote, you could. It's like, no, I got all this in me. Set Apart can be a social media joint. It can be a conglomerate. It can be it could be a whole movement. It could be a television show. It could be a radio station. Who are you to limit me when God said I can do not my thing?
Right. Right.
You better leave me alone.
Right.
I can do all things.
Man.
Right.
Christ.
Right.
Do you feel me?
Yeah.
So for me, when I sat down and picking my team, because your team is important, I needed people who believed in me. I had a couple deals on the table from a couple, and in my heart, I was like, I don't want to be one of many. I need somebody who gets me. You get what I'm saying? Who really gets me? Who take, for instance, my song Grateful that I dropped once we got the 7 nominations for Stellars. I went and said, I want to drop this song Grateful. They said, but you rapping. I said, yeah. They said, but is it going to chart? I said, probably not. They said, is it going to do a lot of streams? I said, probably not. They said, so why are you going to do it? Because I want to.
Right.
And I want to find a different way to tell everybody we nominated. Everybody going to drop a flyer. You know, I just literally, so I think it's being creative.
Yeah.
Why God was creative. Yo, even in your relationship, you don't even want to date nobody who got you figured out.
Right.
Like if you date somebody and you already know they're going, oh, she's going to put her hair up like this week. She's going to wear that next week. You don't even want predictable sex.
Right. Right. Right.
Ooh.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't even want that. You don't even want a predictable dinner. You want everything to be, shock me sometimes.
Nope.
You know, so for me, I think if we begin to embrace all of who we are, I don't think there's a genre on the face of the planet that can see gospel music. Because historically, all music comes from gospel.
Yep.
Which is why the music industry to me is hypocritical, Because how in the heck we go from singing hymns on plantation fields to blues when we was depressed to hip hop when we needed a voice, and now it evolves and you abandon the root. So for me, there has to be a remnant, and I don't want to say a generation. There has to be a remnant of individuals who say, heck no, we here. That's why when I see Corinne doing her thing, go. When I see Todd being an entrepreneur, Todd Delaney doing music and entrepreneur, kill it. When I see Kiara with clothing lines, kill it. When I see Jonathan doing movies, kill it. Like, Negro, don't let nobody put you in a box. You bigger than Sunday morning. The trick of the enemy is trying to convince us that the only day of the week we can thrive is Sunday. When God is raising a remnant of individuals like you who say, no, every day is my day. Yep. And we have to understand, too, that the devil does not have creation powers. He has manipulation powers.
Right.
Okay? So for someone to say in the comments, Lucifer invented music. No. Whatever the devil does, he manipulates. God created a snake in the garden. The devil manipulated it.
Right.
That's what he does. In order for the devil to operate, he only has influence. He does not have creation. He influences, he manipulates. I believe God gave us the ability. We are made in his image, which means he's musical. He's creative. He's expressive. Like, look at it. Like, what type of creative genius would throw stars in the sky or paint lilies in a field? So we got to be able to embrace all of who we are. I'm getting excited. I got to stop. I get turned up in this joint, boy. Y'all leave me alone.
No, it's needed.
Those that are just tuning in, he is the proud pastor of Rock City, Birmingham. Hey, Boss Lady, I'm telling you now, I'm going there like next week. For real, for real.
Hello. Ain't open yet.
Dog.
Look, let me know when you're going.
Talk about it, but just to experience him, man, it's like he's from another planet, straight up.
Let me tell you how crazy. Let me tell you how crazy it is. My niece, she's in the she does something in the rap industry, trap music. So her daughter is 6, and she don't know anything about gospel music, right? So I was like, okay, tell my niece, I said, hey, let me take your daughter, let me hang out with her. I want her to kind of listen to some music with me and tell me how she feel about it. I put in your music. She was like, oh, I know him. I'm like, what? She said, yeah, I know him. And she started singing your songs. I'm like, whoa, wow. It's crazy. They don't do gospel, but they know you and they know your music. And that's crazy.
Boss Lady, this is so crazy. I had a poster a couple days ago. This dude is in his car with the biggest blunt I have ever seen in my life.
Listen to your song.
And he's in there saying, can't nobody do me like you.
I'm there for it.
So now I'm sitting here like, do I share this? Do I share this? So I'm sitting there now like, and I shared it because to me, I wanted him to know you have a place.
Yes.
That's good.
See, when God looks you over, it was Elbert Hubbard who said, when God looks you over, he won't look you over for medals, diplomas, nor degrees, but rather for scars.
Right.
And sadly, we are ascribing to cosmetic Christianity. Right. I call it cosmetic Christianity. It's this makeup. We got all of my sister's a mua. I hope I said that right. A muya. Muya. She's a makeup artist. Muya. Shout out to her. She's one of the best in the world, aka Slim. She's a muya. So, but she will send me before and afters. I'll be like, who is that? She's like, I be killing it, don't it? But that's how church and Christians have become. Yeah. We present a faultless reality.
Right.
You know, so in order for me to be a gospel artist, I gotta say stuff like I ain't never did this, I ain't never did that. You ain't never did this, you ain't never did that. God bless you. But for many of us, if I can just be honest, we have a past. We have a story that if we're not careful, your inability to be bold about your story, oh my God, your inability to be bold about your story is going to keep somebody else hostage.
Right. That's true. That's true.
Boss Lady, you can take it from here. I'm just kind of like, he's giving so much that's challenging me in my thinking, you know. In my generation, it's hard for us to, you know what I'm saying, to have a person that can relate to us. You know what I'm saying? That we can understand, that's not going to judge you, that you can actually be open with, you know what I'm saying? And
see,
I'm going to download everything Pastor Mike Jr. got, like, straight up.
Oh, man.
But see, even with me, Pastor Mike, I brought Montrae on here because I'm pushing him, because I see so much potential in him. That's why I sit back. I don't never do the interview questions or anything like that, because I want to see this man successful. But here's the thing. In our community, even with the gospel industry, the church, we don't want to share our platforms. And that's the crazy part to me. It's crazy.
That's right. And see, I believe, and Montrae, if I can say this to you, I pray you can receive it. It's the ability to embrace your own individuality. You know what I'm saying? And it's so crazy, bro. Like I mean this from the bottom of my heart. So James Fortune, who's my worship director at my church, he gets invited to Chicago, right? He gets invited to Chicago to perform for a Stella event. They don't know me.
Right.
They give him 15 minutes. He tells me, he says, Pastor Mike, you my pastor, I love you, saved my life. He said, everywhere I go, I'm going to tell the world about you. I was like, cool. He said, come with me to Chicago. He does favor, comes out of favor and says, my pastor's here with me. I want y'all to hear him. Lets me do big. Then he does I Am. The Stella Awards see me that night. This before anybody knows me. And they say, you different. You're going to hear from us. So a lot of times, I don't think people realize you need people who don't mind sharing their platform.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why you'll see me on the album, God Took His Time. I remixed a Dia Singh song. I was like, man, she's so dope. I want to share my platform. Or I did Big Bag with my boy Mission, who's one of the dopest cats I ever seen in my life, bro, out of Sacramento. I was like, bro, let me get that song. I'm going to put a verse on it, and we're going to put it on the album. He's like, let's go. You know, so now when you type in Big Bag, all this stuff come up, you know. So or last night at Praise in the Park in Huntsville, I brought my worship leader up with me, Curtis Glean, who has a great song. I said, man, we're going to put that. Let's go. Because, again, God is using our generation to destroy the spirit of competition and introduce collaboration.
Right.
Like, think about this. When God made animals, he did it by himself. When he separated night from dark, he did it by himself. When he separated the water, he did it by himself. When he came to the one thing that would run stuff, he said, let's collaborate. Let us make man. So I think, man, collaboration is so important. I'm just excited to see what the next generation has. And, bro, embrace your individuality, man. I mean this from the bottom of my heart, man. If the rings in the hat is you, earrings is you, do you. Yeah. Like I said this to somebody today. I said, stop trying to fit into a place that's going to reject you for not being what they want you to be.
Right.
Just be you. And I think that's something I have to do. I pride myself on doing. The greatest compliment I've gotten is, you the same person everywhere we go. You know, so I'm excited.
Wow. Everybody, Pastor Mike Jr., man, he's one of the greatest of our time, man, in this generation. I'm telling you, man, you got to go get. He has a banging new single, amazing, that's out this world, man. Literally. Now, I've been listening to that. I first heard it on Kirk Franklin Praise, and from there, man, I download this on my playlist. I listen to it every day, like no gas.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Gas. He has a banging new project. I got it. Y'all got to go get that. And we're going to take a charter bus, and we just going to all go down to Rock City, Birmingham, man.
Hey, when we open back up, you're going to be the first caller. Hey, where the bus at?
Hey,
right.
You know how y'all be having people live streaming on Sundays. I don't know. It's going to set this stream up.
Right.
I need the 6.95 million views y'all be getting.
Right.
Hey, I wake up some mornings, I'll be like, man, how they get another 3 million views, man? Let's go. We'll put all my music videos on.
Wow.
Look, I'm going to tell you, I share everything. If I don't care, Carrie be in my inbox all the time. I love Carrie. Carrie is, look, you got a supportive team around you.
Hey,
Carrie, Angie, I love Greg. I love the entire team. I work with them sometimes, so I already know who you're working with.
Yeah, I love all of them.
Dope people. Pastor, so thank you, man, for your time. We're not going to hold you. I don't want to get in no trouble. But man, thank you for stopping by, hanging with us, man. For real, man, you have blessed us. You have blessed us. And I think a lot of people, when we go back and watch the replay, it's going to really challenge us in our thinking. You know what I'm saying? I think that's where we are. We need to be challenged in our thinking, man. So thank you.
I thank you so much, man. If I can encourage all of your followers and the people who are watching right now, if you want to know why you're going through some of the things you're going through, look at the name of this channel and flip it, all right? It is called Set Apart and Chosen, but I want to prophesy you've been chosen to be set apart.
Come on.
And you have to understand that sometimes your disconnection is divine. And so many times you want to do it a certain way, win with a certain amount of people, go in certain places. God sometimes has to isolate you to introduce you to yourself and who God has called you to be. And the best thing that has happened for me in my life.
Well, that concludes this episode of the Veleka B Project with your host, Veleka B. Until next time we meet, be blessed. The Veleka B Project.